And here we're back for double-sided knitting part 2. You did come back, right? I mean, I didn't like lose everybody and they decide, because double-sided knitting can be fun and it's not that hard at all, right? Right. So, in the first video we did the cast on, showed how to work these edge stitches and how to work plain rows that have no color changes happening. That would be the first 12, 1 through 12 here on the orange and yellow one that I'm making, which would be the equivalent of about from here down on the pink and green. For the next row, we're going to make some color changes. So remember when I said that in double-sided knitting, you have to think of these not as individual stitches, but as pairs. These two, right there, that's one stitch, 2 halves of one stitch, the knit half and the purl half. So when you look at the finished piece, and I say we're going to have 5 regularly made stitches, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, there's the knit half and the purl half, which would have been the green, and then 1, 2, 3 stitches where we flip the colors. We're going to do that here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 regular stitches. So let me show you how that's done. We start with our slip the edge, just like normal, just like you've been doing. Slip it purlwise, bring the working yarn between the 2 needles, and now I'm going to do 5 stitches without changing color, so that'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Meaning I'm going to, let's see if we can get this, I'm going to put orange on orange. Knit the oranges, purl the yellows, so that's 1 stitch made. 2, 3, 4, not really, not right, 4, right? And 5. Okay. Now, just check, make sure I didn't mess that up. There's the edge. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now for these next 3, I'm going to flip the colors. So the knits will be knitted and the purls will be purled, but we'll do them in opposite colors. I'm going to knit this stitch with yellow and purl the next with orange. Knit with yellow, purl with orange, and once more. Don't twist the stitches, Jen. Okay. It's a lot easier to be twisting your working yarns when you're changing colors like this. So that would be 3 where I flip the colors, starting here. 1, 2, and 3. Now I've got 5 more plus my edge. And I'm going to go back to my light color on light color to make the other side. Remember, I'm making this. Let's see. And that's 2. That would be 3. 4. and 5. And now my edge stitch, which of course, I take these last two, knit them together with both strands. There, doesn't look like much, right? That's why I'm going to work one more row. Now in this pattern, flip it around. On the second side, notice how in this piece, I've got one green and a second green. The way I did this is that you only have to keep track of changing colors and making new color changes on the one side. It was the pink side here and the orange side here. So on the yellow side, now I'm going to put like color on like color on like color. Yellow on yellow and orange on orange. Not all double-sided knitting patterns will be that way, but of course I wanted this to be easy. So all my color flipping happens on one side, and then the next side is just like an easy row. It's like an off row. Some yellow on yellow and oranges on orange all the way through on this side. Here's where I had my first color changing going on. So that is an orange, and I'm going to knit it with orange. Yellow on yellow. I was teaching double-sided knitting this week in my knitting classes, and I thought that would be enough. But I have to tell you that my students, they did like it. Some were really enthusiastic about it, and they gave me homework. Told me to go home and write up the pattern. So I guess I have to do that. I have noticed that my knitting students and my crochet students too, they always seem to be giving me homework, and I'm the teacher and they're the student, and I always end up with more homework than them. That's not right, is it? It should be the other way around. That's what I think, but I haven't figured out how to make that happen. So of course I said yes, and now after I get done making these videos, I'm going to sit down and write up the pattern for my little pot scrubbers, both versions, and try and get them published on this blog for free, of course, sometime in the next few days. So if you're interested in that sort of thing, check back. Okay, and the edge stitch. Both of them together, knitted with both strands. Ta-da. Now, you see a little bit of that color change happening right there. And of course on the other side. Cute, right? So for the next row, looking back at this one, we have 1, 2 with no color changes happening, and then 1, 2, 3 where we are changing colors. 1, 2, 3 where we go back to the original scheme. 1, 2, 3 with the new color. 1, 2 on the edges. Just like that. I'll have this pattern written up Like I said, I promise, I've already made promises to people who know me in real life, so I'll promise the internet too. So you can check back and come and get the pattern. What I'm going to do is finish this piece up, get it to the end, and show you how to bind off. Bind offs are actually very easy, but I don't want to skip it. So let me finish this all the way through, bind off, and I'll meet you there.